Hello, good afternoon. Nice to see everyone again. We're going to do a little preview and more of a sort of general catch up, really, with things as they are at the moment. We've got the Cardiff City game tonight, so we're going to have a little chat about that, and we're also going to look at the possibilities of who might play. I haven't got a clue. It's so confused at the moment. First, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone that's subscribed and has started watching us. We've only been around for 3 weeks, something like that. And over the last week or so, our viewing and subscription has just rocketed. It's absolutely brilliant. I'm really thrilled with it because I don't know if you know our history, but myself and Beck, my colleague, on our Facebook group, which is BCFC, the project. You might want to join it if you can. It'd be great. We've got sort of 8,000 members and 4,000 visitors nearly on that site. So it's a really busy site. We wanted to give ourselves another outlet for discussing the Blues. Not everyone uses Facebook. And sometimes people prefer to sort of hear the spoken word rather than see the written word. So feel free to join us if you want. What we try to do is we don't ignore elephants in the room. We don't kiss any arses. We say it the way we think it is, and we hope that it works out, because we're all Blues fans in this together. Sometimes things can get heated. We don't stand any shit on our Facebook page and don't expect it on our YouTube channel either. But we're going to talk today about the possibilities with this match tonight against Cardiff City. There's a lot of stuff going around at the moment. I've seen even more stuff on Facebook today referring to Gary Cook and is how he exited Manchester City. And it's out there to look at if you want to look at it. It is. I mean, people say that it's not important, it's in the past. Well, it is important in a way. If you want to get sort of a feel for the bloke, then have a look at what he's, just Google why did Gary Cook leave Manchester City. It's not a secret. And you can make your own mind up about it, But I did watch an interview with him actually from when he was at Man City, and they took over, and he came in as a CEO. And honestly, almost word for word, it was exactly the same as what he said when he brought Rooney in, when he brought in Mark Hughes, and I think it was Pellegrini he sacked. And it was almost word for word the same. You could have it was scripted. It was weird. So whilst we support the Blues 100%, always, we've worked with the Blues quite a lot, on a one-to-one basis. We've done a few things with them, like, the Justice for the 21, disabled facilities, those sort of things. And we've always got on really well with them, I mean, they weren't always the best at getting back in the olden days, but today they interact quite well with us anyway as a group. We've had several meetings with them, and we were lucky enough to be invited to the 100 on the open house night. Beck went and she was treated very well. Had a little chat with a few of the people there. Actually, she was really impressed with Wayne Rooney, but results speak for themselves, really. We have to remember that Gary Cook is the footballing side of things, and Wayne Rooney, that's the footballing side of things. Jeremy Dale and Ian Dutton, that's the behind the scenes stuff. So when we talk about things like Justice for the 21 and, putting stuff on the screens at St Andrews or talking about disabled facilities, we deal with Jeremy Dale. Mainly, Jeremy tends to be the guy that gets stuff done. In my opinion, he's been very, very good with us. Some of the other guys have got a history at Blues. They've been here for a long, long time, and sometimes old habits die hard. So we hope that improves. But tonight's game, I mean, Cardiff actually aren't on a very good run themselves, even though they're seventh. They've only won 2 games in the last 5, and they've lost the other 3. We know our situation; it's absolutely awful. And whilst we're not one to jump on managers' backs, what I like to do, because we've got so many people that that interact with us on Facebook, and also now, you know, we've got so many people that interact with us on YouTube. We like to get a balanced view and think, you know, that we don't think anyone's right or wrong. It's just all different inputs. But then we're not scared to say what we think, even though I said we have a good, you know, we have a good interaction with Blues. We're not going to kiss their asses. We're never going to do that. So it doesn't matter, you know, if we never get invited to anything ever again, it doesn't matter because we support us. You know, we're bigger than the club, and you can have your own view on that. We're the people that are there when all the shit is left, like BSHL, Sullivan, Carson Young, blah, blah, blah. They've all gone. None of them even probably remember Blues, but we do, you know, it's our club. So when we've got, and I'm just referring to Gary Cook again now, when Gary Cook refers to people, you know, refers to a lot of stuff, and then he says he won't accept people being, something he won't accept is people being abusive with their views, blah, blah, blah. And I agree with him, they shouldn't. But let me tell you something, Mr. Cook, that we don't accept. We don't accept abject failure. And that's what's happening at the moment. We don't accept that. It isn't your club, right? You're just a CEO. So you need to get your house in order before you tell other people to do so. And if you want to see some real examples of filthy mouths and abusive comments, look on the club's own Facebook page. Have a look. Birmingham City FC Facebook page. It's the worst page on Facebook for abuse. So get your own house in order first before you start having a knock at everyone else. What you need to do, mate, in my opinion, get a few moderators and get a couple of good people to run the site. You need some good admins, some good moderators, and clean your own site up. Okay, that's just a little word of advice. Take it or leave it. Up to you. Tonight we're going to be looking at the players that we've got available. I mean, you know, I'm guessing John Ruddy's going to go in goal again. He played quite well against Coventry. And if you look again through the team, we know that Cody Drama at the moment is not available. So he has got an injury, apparently a knock. I don't know where he's been knocked, but he's got a knock. So he won't be playing. Now, the possibility here, and I'm going to say again, the elephant in the room is a load of people think it, so we might as well just say it. Are these players really injured, or are they just don't want to play, or they've fallen out with the manager? There's stuff going around about Kevin Long falling out with Ashley Cole. I don't know, honestly, I don't. I have some contacts at Blues. I've been given a few little things here and there, but you know, nothing that I'm going to say I'm absolutely 100% convinced about. But last week, having Sanderson and Drama both going missing on the same day just looked a little bit too incidental to me, you know. And then Sanderson had a bad toe, apparently. I don't know what that means. He had a bad toe, but there were some Twitter photographs of him later that day shopping, and his toe seemed to be working all right. But the thing that worried me about that was, even if that had happened, was Sanderson's willingness to be photographed, knowing that someone like me was going to see and make a comment. He obviously doesn't care about people knowing that something isn't right. You know, if he was injured and couldn't play against Coventry and he's well enough to walk around town with his bad toe, shopping for trainers, then there's something wrong. But apparently he's all right for tonight. So let's wait and see. We've got no right back at the moment, have we? We've got Drummer and Laird both out. I'm pretty sure that Buchanan could play right back. And I'm pretty sure, you know, we've got Longello in there, haven't we, as well? You know, so, but would we want Longello in there? I heard Wayne Rooney's presser yesterday, and he sort of mentioned Longello. I think he even said his name wrong, but sort of dismissed him. So I don't think we're going to see Longello playing. So left backs, or we could do something with the centre backs and play Abu at right back, which apparently he's played there before. And are we going to drop Roberts? You know, Roberts had a really good game on Friday against Coventry. I think he should keep his place. You know, if what Rooney says, if you perform, you keep your place, Well, then Roberts on that little bit of information should play. And then, of course, Bakuna, did we play Bakuna at right back? He played at right back against Coventry. I mean, you know, it's all right people saying don't play him or whatever, but whatever you say about Bakuna, he's been willing to do anything that's been asked of him, and it's not his natural position. We got players in the club that can play defensively at right back, but we're choosing not to play them at the moment. So we've got Roberts there. Someone else that I think it's got to be knocking on the door to get into that side soon. He's played really, really well. He's young Tommy Fogarty, you know. Why not? And I know what you're going to say, why not? They're kids. And everyone's worried about, you know, Rooney said it himself on his presser yesterday. He's worried about shaking the confidence or, you know, ruining them because they're not ready. Now, let me tell you something, Wayne, right? You've shot the confidence of a load of seasoned professionals already, mate. So I won't worry too much about the kids, because what you need to look at is building the confidence up amongst the professionals that you have in your squad at the moment. Because that back four, when they come under pressure, particularly at home, they look frightened to death. You know, I don't know what's been said to them. Well, I do know what's been said, but I don't know what the atmosphere is like in the dressing room. I have no idea. You know, they don't seem to have a close bond, the players and the manager. You know, I don't want to harp on about John Eustace. He's gone, probably going to Stoke, I don't know. But, you know, with John Eustace, you could tell they had a bond, you know. When I remember, I think it was, I don't know, one of the games, and the players all went up. I think it was the end of last season. Went up to the fans away from home, and then they dragged Eustace up and pushed him in front of them. You know, that's bonding. That is, you know, and that goes a long way. And like I said, I'm not going on about Eustace because I am, but I'm not going on about him because I want him back or anything. You know, he's gone. To me, like all previous managers and owners, they've gone. You know. The other one is Marcel Oakley. So he's had a pretty checkered career at the Blues. You know, sometimes he's looked good, sometimes not look good, that good. So you've got to look at that back four and think, you know, what you're going to go with. I mean, I wouldn't want to be playing Bakuna at right back against Cardiff. I mean, they're not the greatest goal scorers, and they play a 4-2-3-1. So they're going to be lined up pretty much like us, and they don't press a lot. I think they're like fairly open. And my fear with that is Bakuna, if he's got space in front of him, he's going to use that space a little bit too often. You know, I think today we have to look at sitting back a little bit. I don't like saying that, but I think we do. I think we should perhaps try a Bakuna. I don't know, a view perhaps at right back. The two centrals will be Sanderson and Roberts for me at the moment, and then we've got a proper left back at left back, haven't we, with Buchanan? Those four could do worse. I mean, bring Tommy Fogarty into the squad. I would. You know, he's a good lad. Personally, you know, at the expense of probably Longhello, I don't think he's going to play. I don't think he's going to have any intention of playing Longhello. So, you know, he doesn't have to mention him just because we all know he exists. If he's not going to play him, just don't play him and just tell everyone what you think, because you don't mind telling people what they think when players do something wrong. So if you don't rate them in the first place, you know, don't be scared. You're not scared about telling us when they play badly. Tell us when you don't rate them. Injuries still. Kevin Long. I haven't got any idea what's happened to him. He said in the presser yesterday he's 2 weeks away. I don't even know what's wrong with him. We know that Tyler Roberts is in training apparently at last. So although I did hear about 3 months ago that he was 2 weeks away, well, if Tyler Roberts is in training, that's a good sign. I mean, I watched him play when he was in Spain, and he looked good. You know, he scored a great left-footed goal. He gets amongst it, and he would suit 4 or 5 across the front. You know, he's that sort of player who will interact. I think Stansfield's having a bad time at the moment. He's been pushing wide all the time. I think Rooney has to decide exactly what he's going to do there. If he wants to play the one up front like he has done sometimes with Burke drifts out of position. I don't think Duke is the answer at the moment. I think Duke needs a rest. He was talking again yesterday about playing that fast, interactive football. I don't know, then it's got to be Marshy and Dembele for definite. You know, we've got Donovan. Do we give Donovan a little run out today? You know, perhaps leave Marshy on the bench and bring him on late. Do we go with Djukovic or Burke? Because the other thing you got to think about with this team is there's no height in it, you know. So unless they can play that ball on the ground, there's no point in putting big high balls into the box. And we said it last week with the keeper a few times, you know. If Burke, you know, if you haven't got Burke or Djukovic there, forget anything above the waist, because neither of them, there's no one else taller than 5'10" in that. Well, Stanfield might be 6 foot, but he's hardly a big presence, is he? You know. So you've got to look at how they're going to do that. Midfield, Bielik and Sunic behind the four. You know, Bielik's been openly slated, and I think he was lazy last week. I do. And listening to Troy Deeney's comments on him, I think Troy Deeney wasn't a million miles wrong. You know, but perhaps he doesn't want to. Perhaps he doesn't want to go the extra mile for the boss. I would disagree with him. You know, I think he needs to. You know, every player that puts that shirt on needs to put 100% in. But me saying all this doesn't mean I condone it. All I'm saying is what I see with my own eyes. Don't be scared to say what you see. And people are saying, you know, like, oh, don't say anything about the new owners or about Gary Cook because we don't want to piss them off. Well, you know what? I'm pissed off at the moment, and they have to understand that sometimes they might have to get a bit pissed off, because you're not going to hide behind what you think. If you're doing that, you're a coward. You need to say what you feel. You know, we play quite well at times. Ipswich was a really, really good example of what Ryan Rooney can do with the players working for him. But it's just gone tits up since then. What's happened? Keshy Anderson, probably about to come back. I don't know. No, I've heard 2 or 3 weeks with him. I don't know. You know, I'm guessing then a back four for me would be Avu and Buchanan as the fullbacks, Robertson, Sanderson centre half. Personally, I would go with James and Sunic at the moment, because I think Bakuna doesn't look interested. And then across the front, I don't know, are you going to try the kid Donovan from the start or bring him on? I think probably it might be better to go with Mayoshi, Stansfield, Dembele, and Duke. Probably, well, I don't know, probably not Duke, Burke. But then we've got Bakuna as well. Are we going to play Bakuna? Or do you want Bakuna instead of James? I don't know. I can't wait to see what team comes out tonight, because I couldn't believe it when I see the Coventry team. I was like, fuck, what? What's going on? First of all, I noticed that Sanderson was missing. I thought, oh dear. And then I looked down again, I see Drama was missing. You know, like, what's going on at the Blues? So you can have a little think about all that yourself and see what team you'd like to put out. I have no idea at the moment, and we'll find out. You know, it won't be too long before we find out. So we'll be finding that out soon. If you're going tonight, you know, enjoy it. Hope you have a great time. Stay safe and bring back the 3 points. I know, I'm not sure, Tony, rightly how many you're taking from the Roost, mate, but I know I spoke to some people who you're meeting there at 1 o'clock. I don't know. You might be able to watch this while you're in there. You know, so you guys, I know, will have a little top first. You'll be on the loony bus on the way down and on the way back. Loads of flashing lights and loonies. So I'm sure you're going to have a great time. Please, if you can, subscribe to the channel, because the more subscriptions we get, the more content we can put out. We want to make the YouTube stuff work in conjunction with the Facebook thing. So if you're on YouTube, you're not a Facebooker, you could just get yourself a Facebook account and just join our group, BCFC the project. It's the only thing I go on, really. And you know, it's an interesting read sometimes. Gets a bit exciting at times. You can imagine when we lose, batten down the hatches, put our tin hats on, and see what happens. You know. I just want to make sure there's nothing else I want to talk about. No, I think that's it. So, good luck for tonight, Blues. I want you to bring the 3 points back. Don't get me wrong, I'm not negative. I just like say things the way they are. You know, I'm not going to be a happy clapper. I never have been. I'm not going to be now. But on the other hand, I'm not going to be on the backs of the board and the manager just for the hell of it. You know, I've seen stuff done to Hogan and that I wouldn't do it to a dog. You know what I mean? So we're not that sort of person. Our group isn't like that. We're not. I mean, Beck and I share a lot of our ideas, and we just want to keep it real. You know, have a good time. All right, let's bring back the 3 points and see what happens. Perhaps I might do a review of some in the next couple of days. We'll see how we feel. Okay, thanks again for tuning in and watching us. Absolutely love you doing that because it means we're doing something right. All right, comments are welcome, and have a great day. And if you're going down, guys, stay safe. Bring back the 3 points. Up the Blues. See ya.